Hello everyone and welcome back to Life of Wonders. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Polo and I love making videos of dolls, toys and Disney collectibles. And today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing in detail the newly released Disney designer collection Merida doll from Brave. And it's been much anticipated ever since the first pictures leaked out because I was just truly shocked by the design of it and the amount of details. And I don't know, I'm super excited to have it here because I've been waiting for such a very long time since those pictures came out, and finally we're going to discover it together. So first of all, I will just give you a little overview of the box. It has similar tones to that of Ariel in a way. It's kind of like blue greenish, but more blue than green, I would say, but there's a tint of green. And then something that I find incredibly cute is that they've added, as part of the design, the flower, or the so-called flower of Scotland. Now Scotland is a very special place for me because I actually complete my second degree over there, and I stayed there for quite a few years, and so it will always have a very special place in my heart. And well, the flower of Scotland is also called the thistle flower, and I'm so happy that it was included in the design of the box. I mean, this bead is supposed to be, obviously it's just a sketch, but you know, if you were giving it some color, I'm pretty sure you will picture it. This is like a purple lavender color, and yeah, and it's definitely traditional from that. Then we have the Disney Designer Collection logo, and then they've also added the bear paw that also associates is associated with the storyline of Brave, ages 6 and up. And then to one of the sides, we can see a continuation of the flower pattern and Merida's name. And then in the other side, we can find again her name and the flower pattern. And now I'll show you the back of the box. I will be reading the little background story and you know the inspiration from the specific designer that was in charge of this doll, and then I will continue you know, sharing the rest of it. Okay, so here we have the back of it and a picture of the designer well, his name is Wesley Jenkins, or Wes Jenkins, and you can actually find a little like letter of inspiration that he also shared with the public. So if you look out for him on the internet, that will definitely help you understanding even more how appreciative he is for having the chance to design this doll. And then here we find just a tiny bit about the collection, and then a little bit about a backstory that connects this creation with him, which is always very adorable to to experience and to link with the doll. And we have it in English, French and Spanish. I'm going to be reading the English bit, and wow, I mean, I'm so happy that for the first time I think it's just so much easier to read, as even though there is an ombre effect, it's not as you know, in the background part, the background tone of the box is not as accentuated, because most of the time, I mean, the letters are already very small, but if you had that gradient and I don't know, and then you choose this bright color, it was difficult to read. I think this is going to feel somehow slightly better. So here we go. Well, Disney Ultimate Princess Celebration, Wesley Jenkins. Disney Designer Collection is proud to introduce the Ultimate Princess Celebration, a limited edition monthly series carefully crafted by artists across the Walt Disney Company. Each doll celebrates a Disney princess and the designer inspired by our heroine's story. This one-of-a-kind collection is destined to be a keepsake for fans and collectors alike. Now, Wes Jenkins began working at Disney in 2017 as a technical designer for the Disney Parks costuming organization. Since then, he has moved into global product creation as an apparel designer. Wes dedicates this Princess Merida doll to the memory of his grandma Martha, the first redhead he knew. She was headstrong, opinionated, compassionate, and his greatest supporter. She taught Wes to sew when he was 4 years old, about the same age Merida took up her bow. An artistic child, uh, an artistic child was different from his peers and had no interest in upholding the status quo. Like Merida, sometimes it is necessary to break with tradition to find your own path. When West's grandpa died in 1988, he made his grandma a Christmas angel using a fashion doll and fabric he had around. That is just so cute because I'm pretty sure we all doll collectors um can put ourselves in his shoes by this little act. um it was something he would go on to do for her every Christmas, and after 20 years, she had quite the collection. Designing this Princess Merida doll allowed West to dedicate something special to his to his grandma, showcase the design skills he's been practicing for over 20 years, and inspired others to pursue their dreams and change their fate. Again, adorable, super cute to have a little bit of the background of the designer that has been chosen to decide this doll. So now I will proceed to show you how Merida is displayed inside of the cabinet, or like the box display, and then I will proceed with the unboxing, which is the most exciting. Okay, so here we are, and she's looking so gorgeous, so brave, so fearless. I am falling in love with her, and I knew I would, like, just before she arrived. But this doll is just like magnificent. It's very special because this is the first time that Merida has been given the chance to be part of a designer collection, as such, as we had the limited edition one, like the big one, and then the classic one, but that's it basically. So just to have a new take on her is just like an amazing chance, which most of the other princesses have had already, but this is the first time for Merida. So on this side we can find a little postcard or pamphlet thingy with an early sketch of the design, and then again the picture of the artist, and then this is actually the front, and this was like the back as I opened it, or I mean, it really doesn't matter, I guess. And then on this side we have the limitation number, and I mean, the aesthetics of it is consistent. Here, they have created like a piece of vegetation, I think. Normally we've got a chandelier, things like that, and I think it goes really well with the background that they've chosen, which is the Scottish Highlands. And it's just an amazing background, and she's displayed there looking so gorgeous. But of course, I'm going to take her out. One thing I will do first is I will take this window display. I will show you up close how she is displayed, with the ties and everything, and then I will proceed removing her from the box. Okay, so here we are. She's looking so gorgeous. The background is just breathtaking, really. One thing I've noticed though is that they have not yet corrected like the protective sort of like layer of plastic. It's still on the outside rather than on the inside of the box. And so if you take the inside of the box to just display her just like this, or with the actually with the window display, which will actually take half the space because otherwise you have to have this open. It's unfortunate. I'm really hoping that maybe for what's left of the collection, they will sort that out. In any case, I mean, it's very easy to just apply a thin layer of acetate plastic and, you know, protect it that way, because otherwise it's not protected. If I mean, and the background is just so beautiful and so versatile as well that it's just a pity. But she's looking so gorgeous, really. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, like I'm going to the boxer because I like to experience it all around, but she's beautifully displayed here. And I believe she's my favorite from the collection so far, I think. Yeah, just because again, Merida um is not as represented most of the time, and we don't have as many dolls. And because, for example, I also love Jasmine and I love Tiana so much. Tiana has to be my second favorite, but we have many other designer Tiana dolls, but for Merida this is rather unique, and the execution of it and the design of it is just like, yeah, it's my number one. It has to be. After this video, though, I will make another video in which I will be giving you my personal ranking of the 7 dolls already released, and you know, having the physical dolls out of the box. So that would be very interesting for you, if you're into these dolls. So this is the way she's displayed, super beautiful. And now I will proceed to take her out of it. Okay, I just wanted to show you to you all that just before I'm proceeding with the unboxing, the full unboxing, but I noticed that the background that they chose for the back of the box is different. Like normally it's like exactly the same as the front, but here we can find like a magnified sort of like woods, which is just super cool. I thought I would just share it with all of you. As you can see, I mean, there's only like two pieces holding the plastic bit on the back of her, and this I assume is like around the waist, and then there will be like plastic ties that I will be carefully taking off, and I will get back to you in no time. And now that I have completely removed it, it was easier than I was expecting. Merida out of the box. Here I want to show you the background of this incredibly nicely printed version of the Highlands. It's a very beautiful background, and the amount of, like, you know, different cuts, it's just kept to a minimum, so definitely it won't be as noticeable when displaying either Merida or any other doll. And I think this is a very fairy tale background for just like in general any sort of like yeah, fairy tale dolls. So this is how it, I mean, this is what it looks like on the inside. And now I will proceed with Merida, and I'm also going to compare her with the classic doll that I have, and also a couple of dolls from Hasbro style series that have used a similar take with, you know, the over skirt cascading down and then using pants at the same time. That I think is, it's rather interesting to have them side by side. So yeah, come with me. Okay, so here we have a gorgeous Ultimate Princess Celebration Merida from Brave out of the box. I'm really speechless because she's such a work of art altogether. Again, she's my number one favorite so far from the whole collection. Because yeah, I mean, I was not expecting, I mean, I was hoping that they wouldn't go wrong, and I don't think they have. In if anything, they have managed to celebrate this princess, um you know, in a great way with this doll. But before I continue, I just want to show you that I have here next to her the classic doll that was released like a few years ago, And I mean, the reason that you might be thinking that she's taller than the classic doll is because, oops, sorry, it's because she's actually standing on her pedestal stand, and this stand is just like nothing compared to this one here. They're the same height also. She has like pointy feet, and this one has like flats. Okay. And then I will also, like, after this sort of like comparison, I will make a quick reference to the layout of the dress that somehow made me think of these, you know, two dresses from the Hasbro style, Disney style collection. These are the second releases for both princesses Ariel and Belle, and in a way, there is a common, um, sort of like layout there that might have served as inspiration. I don't know, but because obviously these dolls were released much earlier, I would say definitely over a year ago. But there's also like a lot of references that I can actually associate of this dress with the Scottish culture as such. But anyway, first of all, I want to mention that they've changed the face mold. And right now, well, another thing that is very noticeable, other than the face mold as such, that I will try to get closer so you can see the differences, is the complexion of her skin tone. I mean, even though this is already very like quite pale, the designer one is so much paler, and yeah, so much. And then um another thing that relates to just the colors, well, the hair color is exactly the same, which is pretty cool. I mean, I think it's slightly darker that one it's showing, the one it's showing on camera. But other than that, it's just like that. I obviously prefer this hair so much better than this one, because I never understood why we were never given like appropriate curls for, I don't know, from Merida. And I mean, in a way, these curls fit slightly better to the with the character. And then another thing that we've seen as well for the painting of the designer Ariel is that finally they are given eyebrows that are the same color as their hair color. So they have given her red eyebrows, which is a first for Merida, and I think it was a first for Ariel as well, because beforehand, they were used to be like light brown, I think, in color, like similar to, for example, what we can find here in this Hasbro for Ariel. They're not giving her, the same tone of red for the eyebrows, but they have so far for both girls in this Ultimate Princess Celebration line. So having said that, now I have to point out that the smile, it's a little bit more subtle in the newer sculpt than it was before, just one to the side, just actually being leaning towards one side, and this one is more centered, and then the nose, it's less defined, I would say, which makes her look so much more realistic, I would say. And here I could see a more cartoonish, I don't know which one is actually accurate to the movie, but I mean, this one here looks to me more realistic, as if she was human. I mean, if you know what I mean. Um, so the cartoonish sort of like shape has been minimized a little bit. Another thing is that people have said that the ears are pretty big, and I don't think they are. I think like the measurements and the shape of the face of Merida is how I picture her from the movie, but quite possibly because of her um hairdo, they're more exposed, and you might think that they are bigger with this coat, but in fact, I was just having a close look earlier, and I will just put it side by side if I can. Um, in the original, classic doll sculpt, she already has these big ears that obviously are part of the character. And if anything, I have the feeling that they have reduced them a little. I can see that, I don't know, I can see them like slightly smaller. So it's just that people in general, without the boxing her, is definitely saying that she's having bigger ears because of the way they're exposed, and you cannot see them as much on these like other dolls. But in reality, in the original or previous molds, I think they were slightly bigger. So again, that might have been adapted for this sort of like realistic look, which I love because the face screening as well, or the face painting is just so realistic. The way the eyes are painted, the single streaks of single little bits of hair for the eyebrows, which not sure if you can see there, but the level of detail is just like amazing. Um, and then she even has a little bit of like lines for the lips as well. And what else? I wanted to mention something else, and now all of a sudden I think I have forgotten. Oh yeah, the expression. For the 16 inches limited edition ones, I never quite like the final expression they were actually given to her, because to me, I mean, I know that it was quite possibly very accurate to the movie, but to me, she looked a little bit upset, and I understand that they were going towards a fearless and super brave expression, but I think they've managed to achieve that much better with this daring sort of like expression that is not like, I don't know, she's not giving me upset vibes, but super confident, um, and daring expression, which is amazing. So, having said that, and already compared with the classic doll, now I want to talk just very briefly about again the general layout of the dress. Made me think of these two instantly, because of course, I mean, these were released a longer way before um, this one has, and I really don't know if the designer has actually found inspiration, or and again, I mean, this might be inspired in other sort of like high end or high fashion styles, and then they have had the common denominator, I mean, without being exactly this designer being inspired by this design as such, but on another design that would have like this shape and general layout. But as you can see, the top part connects with the overskirt, and then it has two frontal cascades that they both share. Obviously, this version over here is a Hasbro style, so the quality is so much poorer and much cheaper, but I think that it does the trick for what it is, and I love it. And in fact, this version, I mean, this doll over here is probably my number one from the collection, because at the time I thought it was very clever and something completely new. I mean, like a reinvented pink dress for her, but in a contemporary world, and that would actually, it makes me think of the sea because of the waves, but then at the same time it's very clear that she has legs because of the pants and how the heels are accentuated in this model. So anyway, I mean, I just love it really. But as you can see, the similarities are there, and even with this Belle one over here, it's just that for Belle, they actually went, sorry, my mobile phone is sliding off my hand. Just one of the sides is cascading like the other two dresses are, and the other side is, it just has like a straight one, but then she also has like pants or trousers underneath, although this time they have given her a bell shape, like super loose yeah, take on the pants. But I think it's super cool, and I think these ones are two of my favorites because of how contemporary and how powerful, in a way, it is to see the princesses wearing something so modern. And so that happens, of course, with Merida. And so, just having mentioned all these references and stuff, I'm going to focus on our girl. Okay, and before I continue, I just want to mention as well that even the pose these dolls are having, like, I was just a little bit annoyed with these second releases of the Hasbro Disney style series because they were lacking of articulation, as they really went to have like this sort of like pose, like even though I believe that the knees are bendable, or there's an articulation on the knees, but the pose is just exactly the same but mirror. And also another thing that I've noticed is that I mean, I'm not saying that again Disney's like copying, because again, I mean, I'm seeing references to even previous Mattel molds and things in the hands. Like, for example, something that I'm going to point out right now is the shape of the newer hands for the that have been introduced with the Ultimate Princess Celebration line, as opposed to like the previous one. It was just like that, um and then now it's been more styled. um, if you can see the difference, I think it's very noticeable. But then the Hasbro ones already have that feature that is almost the same. I don't know if you can notice the way the fingers are posed. It's very, very, very similar. So anyway, I thought it would be interesting for us collector to point these things out. And now, yeah, let's move to Merida. And here we have Merida in all her glory. She's once again absolutely breathtaking in person. Out of the box, she shines like a super bright star. Um, and she does not lose any of her personality features by being redesigned differently for the Ultimate Princess Celebration. In fact, I think little things that would be associated with her personality are even accentuated with this doll. So that is like seriously so cool. So where do I start? I mean, her hair is very it's very cool the way it's been styled. It's so much more intricate than one would think. There is like a messy top over here that actually again goes very well with her personality of just having messy hair in a way. And then it has to a high half up um with these curls, and then the other half bit merges with a couple of braids that could be, I mean, these are called, I believe, but I guess that these have like a lot of different names, French braids, but this could also be like a way of style the hair within the Celtic culture in a way as well. So there are two braids like that that will connect the hair in the back, and then everything has been pushed to one of the sides, of course, so it's nicely displayed. I mean, if I were to show you the back, as it's all gelled, it's just all leaning towards one of the sides, so we can see it for the from the front. And then the dress has like a V shape on the back as well as on the front, but in the front, the um we have like this massive armor piece. One thing I have also noticed is, okay, so with the metallic pieces that adorn the dress and you know, the whole thing around. There's a combination of metal and plastic, and I always want to like make clear when it's like metal or when it's like plastic painted metal, because I think that there's a lot of confusion sometimes when we're reviewing these dolls. This is a piece of plastic that has been painted as um, a bronze piece, a metallic bronze piece, and then it's actually open in the back as you've seen, and it's held in place so it doesn't move with an elastic. And then if we were to take it off, which it can be done, then the dress has another V shape color area, but this is definitely plastic. Okay, although right now we will see that the chains that actually adorn the front of the dress, the ones that are actually holding the little bow and arrow on the front, these are metallic. So this is a true metal, as well as these pieces, because I would think that this would be plastic and this would be plastic as well. It would kind of make sense, as normally most of the bracelets that the princesses get are just painted metallic or chromatic gold or chromatic silver or whatever, but they are plastic. But these are actually metal, and I don't know if you can actually see the difference, but the I mean how you actually notice it is that these pieces are so much colder, because yeah, the metal pieces are always colder than plastic, and that's pretty neat. And then, okay, so after talking about haha, I have to be talking about how I love the little like free curl that is just coming down her forehead, the way, the ultra realistic way in which the eyes are painted, the, yeah, the, the rooted eyelashes, the lines on her lips, it's just like she's looking so so beautiful. And yeah, I mean, she has a little bit of makeup or eyeshadow that has like metallic shades, but it's so minimal that I think it will go, it actually goes very well with the character itself. Then we have this metallic earring, just one earring on one of the sides, with a hoop, and then from the hoop there are like a few chains dangling down, which I think is pretty cool. It goes with the whole I mean, it's giving me punk and rock and I don't know, but steampunk as well. Sort of like vibes with the, you know, like a mix of periods here, with the straps of leather and the buckles and the, yeah, it's just giving me those vibes in a way. And then her dress is, well, or her outfit is two pieces, so the top is connected with the outer layer of there is a little tie here because there were the chains. Oh, by the way, I have to say that before I continue, another thing that I didn't quite understand is that, okay, so she has like these chains that are coming from the front to like the two cascading sort of like layered parts of the outer skirt, and these ones were actually sewn on the back of it like that. And I've seen it, I mean, if you now that you've seen my video, try to check out other pictures from people who have not yet deboxed her, and I didn't quite understand why the chains of this side would be sewn like right over there where the marks are basically, but these were sewn here, when in reality I think it makes total sense. I think it's some sort of mistake from the final sort of, like, I don't know really, but I mean, to me it kind of makes sense that all the chains are actually displayed like this, as opposed to just being hidden in another layer. Anyway, that's just me. So the top part is connected to the over skirt, and then she's wearing pants independently. And so if you were to take, I originally thought that it would be like three pieces, but no, the bodice is one piece, but then there's this super beautiful drapey layered effect on the front as well. Seriously, the details. There's also like these meshy materials for or fabric for the it's quite sturdy actually. It's not quite as organza, more like sturdy actually. Yeah, and it has a copper finish to it, which again it goes extremely well with the final layout. And then on this part here there is this bit of like fur that is super cool, and it makes us think as well about, you know, the bear mom and all. And then okay, what else? Just moving. It's just that there's so many details. Well, the tartan plot, design that they've and the colors they've chosen are the ones used by her family in the movie. So that is like the level of details that will attach this doll with things with that are linked to the original animation is amazing. Really, I mean, there are um so many really. So on in the bodies or around the bodies we can see a few straps that are like held in place, and then buckles, and then again the chains and the bow and arrow, and then there's more like but this is actually sewn in onto the material, these strappy beads on this arm, and then she's holding this really nice really nice little purse that is painted in, it doesn't open or anything, it's just solid, but I think it's super cool. I mean, the chain is metallic, and then the rest of it is all plastic, and then it has like a Celtic pattern all around, a little horn, and then in the back we have like this design that is like the bear paw or claw paw, I would say, or a bare hand with a bow and arrow as well, like hidden there, and the Celtic sort of like designed, and the knots. It's just super beautiful all the way. I mean, I didn't take the elastic that is holding it there because I think it will slide off very easily. So that way it can be held by her without being afraid of losing it. And then yeah, okay, so I was talking about the tartan plot design. It's just super beautiful in shades of dark scarlet color or maroon and blues, different shades of blues, and then there is embroidery all around the whole outer skirt. So it's just not on the front of each layer, but it's all the way around, and that is embroidered, in my opinion. Although then right over here we find these okay, let me see, we find this pattern that is like the little bare hand with the bow and arrow incorporated in the design, and this is like a patch that has been sewn onto the fabric, and so in my opinion this is not embroidery, but it's like a sewn pattern, you know, that adds a different sort of like texture, which I like. And then there's the embroidery around the trim, and then there is this fringe all around as well, in another shade of blue green. It's like a combination, and then it's all lined with this satin scarlet red or burgundy color on the inside. And then we can see that on the back, the pattern, well, this is, no, I think that that's the way it is. I thought that it might be like connected with ties or something still, but I actually took everything off. So the design is just on one of the sides, and then it's symmetrical on the back. It has a bit of a trim, and as you can see, it's just extremely beautiful. The tartan pattern is very beautiful. The Celtic trim, the fringe, it's just so cool, and the way her hair looks from the back as well. And then just last but not least, we have to talk about the pants. The pants are super tight, which again add to the sort of like punk look to it. And then they have the same pattern and material as the rest of the outfit. And then she's wearing these amazing boots that are just super incredibly detailed, and I'm going to show you. The boots have a piece of fur, just is the same one as the one that we can see adorning one of the shoulders. And here we can see the sculpt for it. It has little claws on the top, and at the beginning I thought it was just like a painting streak of like, yeah, like I thought it was painted, but it's actually part of the sculpt itself. I'll try to get closer so you can see the claws are just there, so noticeable. And then underneath the fur we can see this really intricate detailed boot that has like straps and buckles, and the buckles have been painted bronze or gold. And it's a rather unique shoe, and I am so in love with it. And all in all, I think that this doll is incredibly beautiful. And again, it has to be ranked number 1 from the whole collection as for now. I'm so very much looking forward to Moana or Vaiana, which is the next one. And then my second favorite, well, the thing is, I will leave it there because I'm going to make another video in which I will be giving you my personal ranking of all of them out of the box. But for now, I really hope that this review was helpful. I tried to address all the things that I could possibly imagine that would be interesting for all of us doll collectors or Disney collectors. So I hope you found it helpful, and you've enjoyed it. And if you have, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Let me know about what you think in the comments down below. I will be so happy to get back to you. For now, I hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.